Okay, so you're seeing it on your end, or that's just me? Okay. Well,
Notification live, my friend.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, nobody's on right now, but that's okay. At least we
Like I
got it.
said, yeah, give it a couple of minutes. Okay, we'll hop
All right.
on.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I know. I know that. As a matter of fact, let me. I'm going to text a couple of you. So, oh boy, it's been frustrating, and I'm honestly scared for next week already because you know until this finally goes right. Hey Z, how you doing, man? I'll tell you what, I got a drink on my right here, and there's not nearly enough in it to settle the stress that. Hey Tim, thanks a lot. Tony, yes, and I tell you what, it's night. It's the first time I've genuinely been happy to see myself in a reflection. No, I'm just kidding, but honestly, this is Derek's been helping me this whole time. For those of you that have stuck around, thank you honestly so much. Um, and honestly, I mean, Derek's a pro, and he couldn't he had the hardest time helping me figure out what the heck was going wrong with this computer. It's a brand new computer. I got a Mac Pro book. It's the same one like Derek has and everything, and I mean, he knows a lot more than I do. I'll tell you that much. And yeah, it was a struggle trying to get this thing uploaded. And honestly, I still don't know if we've got everything figured out, but we're live now. So, here we go. The only bad thing is, I'm sure we lost a bunch of people that we were going to have. Now, one of the things that I did want to talk about was events, and I had invited several people that had been on in cruise groups that had events scheduled on upcoming cruises and things like that, on the Mardi Gras and the Glory, on several other cruises, if they would come on and share their events. Also, um, a gentleman by the name of Ashley Davis. A few of you might actually know him. Lido, coach, if you could buy a beer right now, I would. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Well, you know what? Cheers to that. I need this drink right now. So give me just a minute. And there's not nearly enough bourbon in that, I promise you. So, all right. So we got Lido on here. We got Derek. We got the Z Show, Moonlight Adventures. Hello, you just popped on. Tim already said hello. Tony, hello. Z, hello. And you know what? Going all the way up to the top, Z was the first to chime in. Hey, Michelle, thanks for sticking around. Uh, Z, and this is kind of off the cruising topic, but Joy, and I know Derek, she's been on your show a lot. She became friends with me on Facebook, and I didn't know. And I asked her today, and I don't think she's responded yet, but if she had a YouTube channel of her own, because she had this amazing, it was like a casserole, but without any bread or anything. But basically, she just put a whole bunch of she's got a whole bunch of healthier type foods and things like that. So Z, I know you've been on that weight loss journey and cutting out sugar and things like that, but I don't know if this would be allowed for you. But it was it was like, well, their recipe called for turkey sausage. I put regular sausage, and then let's see, it had a tomatoes on top of that, and then you put like your veggies, your mushrooms, onions, and then put mozzarella cheese and stuff over there. And I tell you what, and then pepperoni over the top of that, and it was great. I mean, no pizza dough, anything like that, no carbs, pizza casserole. Okay, actually, but yeah, there was no cauliflower in it. Z, it was the base was sausage, and then tomatoes, like I said, mushroom, onion, mozzarella cheese, and then the pepperoni on top. But okay, so getting back to cruise stuff. So all the events. So let me talk about one event that I know funnel heads. Hey, thanks for sticking in and yeah, for those of you who don't know, funnel heads, they're a relatively new channel too. He's on the brink of hitting 1,000 and becoming official, so he's right there. But yeah, Andrew was having some difficulties last week because I tuned into his live late, and I was telling him earlier that I appreciate that because of the struggles I've had these first 2 weeks, and this week was even worse, because it took so long to come online. But yeah, getting back to the events. So uh bar crawls. That's one thing that I have some familiarity with. And going back to the start, I was going to tell everybody I invited a bunch of people here from the Mardi Gras cruises that were upcoming, and also some glory cruises that are upcoming to share their events. Is there anybody on here? I see we've got about 15 people. Are there anybody that I invited that stuck around here that has an event on a cruise coming up? If you could throw that in chat. If not, like I said, I'll talk about the bar crawls. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody pop anything in there, so it's just the cruise creator crew. And again, thank everybody for sticking around. I appreciate it. I know there's only about 15, but so anyway, the bar crawl, Island Time, myself, we're gonna host a bar crawl on July 23rd on the horizon. Now, the way that I do it, and if anybody is interested out there, because I know this is going to get replayed. So although we only have 14 online now, hopefully there'll be 100 more or so of you that watch this a little bit later. So anybody that's interested in doing a bar crawl, at least on a Carnival ship, it might be different on Royal or Norwegian, but on a Carnival ship, the first thing obviously you want to do is you want to create your event. Okay, so you create your event, you tell everybody where you're going to meet up. The easiest place on Carnival cruises, on at least the smaller ships, has always been the atrium bar lobby because it's a large space. So, a lot of people can fit in there, and there's a lot of seating, so you don't have to be at the bar to actually go. And so create the space and set that as your meeting point. But as the event host, the thing that you want to do is you want to go to guest services as soon as you get on and contact the beverage manager. Once you contact the beverage manager, you say, hey, you basically tell the guest services, look, I'm hosting a bar crawl. I need to talk to the beverage manager. And they will either come down right away and talk to you, or they will make an appointment time to talk to you that same day. And I've had them meet me at places on the ship. I've had them come right down. I've had them call me and basically set, your plan in place for whenever your bar crawl is going to be. Usually it's the next day, and the bars that you're going to attend, how many participants you're expecting. And then based on that information, they will give you a certain amount of bartenders, usually is how it works. So they'll have 3 bartenders that might not be on duty, then will travel with your group or groups, depending on how large your bar crawl is, around the ship as to not overwhelm the bar. Now, I've done several bar crawls, and sometimes our groups have been so large that we've divided into 3 different groups, and then we all go in different directions. Sometimes we'll cross paths and meet in a bar, but most of the times, you have a set schedule, and you come back to one meeting point. But it's really pretty simple. Again, just contact the beverage manager. Um, give your idea on what bars you want to hit. And then another thing that is good to do is if you already have a preset drink So, for example, if you're visiting the Havana Bar is one of your stops. I believe it's called the Cuban iced tea. It's a really good drink in the Havana Bar, and you can pick certain drinks so that way the bartenders can already have those ready, and when your big group comes in, they have a bunch of those ready, or the mix ready to go, and then they can serve a bunch of people very quickly. Okay, let me take a break here and see if anybody jumped in. That final ads. Yeah, the pub crawl for sure, Andrew. Derek, Josh, Rayleigh. Hey, Rayleigh, I just saw you jumped in here. Okay, so yeah, it looks like oh, Jim. Oh, okay. Um, Jim, you're not one of the event hosts, are you, Jim Benbrook? I see you're on the Panorama on June 25th. I'm going to be on the Mardi Gras on the 25th. So we have the June 25th. Okay. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I invited a bunch of people in, and I feel terrible because I had the link set up and the link actually worked, except for my camera didn't work. And for those of you that are just joining now on this link, and credit to you for finding it and getting through and everything else. Yeah, it's just been tonight's just been a fiasco. But at least we're online now. Again, thanks to Derek. And here's Anita. I think she's feeling sorry for me. She she's heard me in here. If I had hair, there would be none left. So I've been stressed out before. Apparently, hey, it's burnt toast. Yeah, Michelle, you're right. It's forever burnt toast. So, yeah, you know what? Honestly, okay. So let's talk about some other stuff. It's only about 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. And I just honestly, I truly appreciate each and every one of you that came on here, because I would have probably given up myself. Jim, I am a high school teacher and coach. So that's how I came up with the name Coach Cruz. I figure since I coach, multiple sports, I combine that with my passion for cruising, and that's how the whole Coach Cruise thing came about. Um, I will give you an interesting story related to coaching. And after schools now, I'm staying until about 5:30 to work in the weight room, and they're paying me for that, so it's a good gig. It's pretty easy. But I've had a couple young ladies that have asked me to train them, and high school students or whatever. So, and they've been pretty good about showing up. They haven't missed too many sessions, I guess you could say. Well, anyway, today I decided we have some of those giant tires. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that, but basically big like tractor type tires. And I mean, even big tractor tires come in different sizes, right? So there's smaller ones and there's much bigger ones. So we have three of those in this room, this rather large room, just off of our weight room. And I picked out the smaller tire, which is still, it's like still one of those big monster tires, right? So, for a girl, especially one that's just starting out training, I wasn't sure if they'd be able to handle even that, but I thought they would. And they did. They did a really good job of flipping this tire. It was a struggle for them at first, but then they got the hang of it. And then I had them go each 3 times, flipping it down and back. Well, there was these two gigantic tires, and I hadn't even messed around with lifting those because it's just not something I do anymore. And it was laying flat on the ground. So prior to them even coming in there and lifting that tire, I had to move that out of the way. So I went to pick it up, and I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I'm a relatively strong guy. And I went to pick this thing up. I'm like, and I couldn't even get it the first time. I had to make sure I got down low and got underneath there. And, I might even tweak my back a little bit. So when these girls are lifting it, finishing their little tire, they said, "Oh, I want to try that one." And I told them honestly, there's two of them. And I told the one that asked, I was like, I don't think you're going to be able to handle that one. I was like, I had a hard time with that one myself. And the girl says, yeah, I want to try. I'm like, okay. So when they finished their tire, their smaller tire, I said, okay, we'll set it on the ground. And I said, get low. And she struggled with the thing for about a dozen times. I kid you not. And there's a couple times she got it about a foot, maybe 2 feet off the ground. And I said, okay, you want to try to get underneath it or whatever. Long story short, she got the thing up. It took about 12 tries, but she got the thing up and she flipped it over. And she was just really, really excited. And she should have been. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed. I had to give her a high five for that one. And it was really cool. And then the smaller girl that's not as strong, I said, do you want to try? And she said, yeah. And so she's tried to do it. And at first it was like she couldn't even budge it. I mean, she couldn't even get it an inch off the ground. And she's about a foot shorter and she's, couldn't lift as much weight as this other girl I trained. And so I thought, it's okay, don't worry about it. And I was like, well, she's like, no, I want to try again. Tried. And then all of a sudden she got it about a foot off the ground, and her smaller height actually, I think, helped her. But again, long story short, again, she was able to get that sucker off the ground and flipped it over. And to see these two girls, they were super excited, that they accomplished this big feat of, and I'm telling you, these tires by themselves, I'm guessing, weigh about 500 pounds. So it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. Let me just catch up on the notes. I don't know if that's, see, when I see Island Time, I'm guessing it's you, Derek, because I just talked to you, but I think that's Derek saying, Anita, I hope you're doing well. But it could be Amanda, or it could be both of them. Okay.
Two enthusiastic thumbs up.
And Mike, Lido, appreciate that. I will not. Jim, thank you. College baseball, very cool. Where's he play college ball at? Okay, very cool. And I see Lido just asked that. Arizona Christian University. If I just continued reading, I wouldn't have had to ask that question. Okay, very cool. Did you enter the No, I did not enter the contest with Norwegian. Anita and I are actually taking my sister and her boyfriend. We're going to Bermuda on the Carnival Magic that same month. And I'm already going to have to use 2 personal days for school. So the time that the Norwegian would be leaving, plus us doing that cruise previously already, there's no way that I would be able to do it. Yes. And I see Charles, who's the other Coach Cruise. Charles just answered this for me. And thanks. For those of you that don't know Charles, I think most of you on here do know Charles. But Charles has helped Derek out a lot, with different stuff on Island Time, and Mike as well. But he's being my
hey Derek,
my communicator person for when I'm talking on the video. So again, Charles is Coach Cruise tonight also. Michelle, I'd be willing to bet he would take a free cruise and move the one. Oh, yeah, you know what? I would, but I don't know. I guess in order to win the contest, you got to buy a ticket, right? And I didn't even enter. So so I don't think I'm going to get it, but Michelle, and I know Rachel is also on there. I hope you all, I know there's a week or 2 left. I hope you all, can sneak into that top 200, and then if all 3 of you all got a free cruise on Norwegian, that would be awesome.
That would be clutch.
Lido, yeah, Magic was a fun ship. You know what? I mean, of all the Carnival cruises that we have done, we have never been on the Carnival Magic.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun, and I think we're caught up with the chat part now, and it's 7:58. And so I guess we have just a couple minutes left, but I'm going to continue to work on this, and I'm going to try to bother Derek just a little more. I've bothered him twice now. I've FaceTimed him, twice within the past 2-3 days here to try to get this. And I thought we had it. He showed me the screen that I needed to go live from. And I got off the first FaceTime call with Derek from Island Time, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And felt good. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Got this.
And then I got home about an hour and a half before I was supposed to go live. And I clicked on the live, and then I noticed my little go live button was gray. It wasn't like giving me the option to even click on it. So I'm freaking out, and it's saying download this software, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I find some software to download, and finally the go live button went, like lit up and says, hey, you're ready to go. It even says you're ready to go.
He wasn't ready.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And a couple of you, it even asked, Derek asked, and I know Charles asked, he's like, is everything set? And I said, well, it says, that I'm ready, that I just need to click the go live. So I think I'm ready, but I said, I'll only know when we click it. And then sure enough, I clicked the thing, and it's a black screen, and people can hear me, but they can't see me. And so I tell you,
You got it now.
It's
all good.
They say, I truly hope that saying third time's a charm is true, and that next week we will actually have a link. It will work, and when I click it, the camera will go on and everything will be fine. I fear that it won't after these first two times, but Z Show. I do my live events on my phone and YouTube Live. You know what? I have done everything, and I've got my phone right here. I got the IMAX. I've pretty much done everything on my phone, but I figured, well, I'm gonna start doing these lives. I need a bigger screen where I can actually see people's chats and things like that. And so we got the new computer, and I thought, okay, we're ready to go now. And well, it just, oh God, that's funny.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, Charles, if you only knew. I thought I was not tech literate. Yeah. Yeah,
Can you turn my phone on?
Charles, I think we could ask Sadie to set up the computer, and it would have more luck. If I'm not tech savvy, she's really, really not tech savvy.
Oh,
so I mean, if she just touches the remote, instantly the whole TV just things happen that shouldn't happen. And whenever anything goes wrong with technology, I said, "Did you touch technology again?" So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
have Anita set it up.
His jokes.
Okay, well, it is 8:00, and again,
it's margarita time.
Yeah, a couple margaritas. So again, thank you all seriously for sticking around and showing support and everything else like that. And again, I'm going to talk with Derek and whoever else I need to talk with to try to fix this thing and get it right. I'll probably even do a couple test lives for like 5 minutes to just to make sure we have everything right. So there might be some lives that I actually go live and then just delete the 5-minute broadcast or whatever to make sure we get this thing right. But thanks again, everybody, and appreciate y'all tuning in. Take care.